Bubsy was released on the Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo in 1993. The full name of the game is technically Bubsy in Claw's Encounters of the Furred Kind. That kind of originality is about what we're going to be able to expect from Bubsy, but before I get too deep into that, let's take a look at the game itself. The footage you're seeing is from the SNES version of the game. Bubsy is a 2D platformer from the era where these games were at their peak. The game is clearly most inspired by Sonic the Hedgehog. Levels have high paths and low paths, and the fact that they give the player more choice and option than many other platformers of the era is definitely a standout feature. Lots of obstacles and tools are scattered throughout the levels in fun ways. Moments that make you feel like you're on rails or massive jumps feel great. But watch out, even though Bubsy the Bobcat has 9 lives, you'll tear through them pretty quickly. One hit kills Bubsy, and enemies can only be killed by jumping on top of them or by using the pounce maneuver, which, unfortunately, isn't something you can rely on as quickly as something like Mario's Cape Spin or Raccoon Tail Whip or Sonic's Spin Dash. Continues can be earned, but you're going to die a lot. Luckily, enemies stay dead and objects stay collected, so getting further in a level isn't typically that hard. Bubsy's graphics, at least here on the SNES, are actually pretty great. Your character sprite is large, as are the enemies and items. Levels are filled with lots of details, and backgrounds, while sometimes simplistic, are a nice touch. Unfortunately, when we're used to games like Donkey Kong Country with its parallaxing backgrounds and multiple layers, it's hard to remember that this game has many merits of its own to stand on. The sound effects all feel right at home and have a bit of a cartoon vibe to them. Every boing and splat and pop matches the absurdity of the character and the levels you're experiencing. The music seems a bit overly generic, although, for instance, the carnival levels do have a bit of a circus theme to the music, so you can't say it's a complete miss. Unfortunately, you typically play through multiple levels that center around a theme before advancing to another set of levels, and each time you're in the levels based on that theme, there's only one song to split among the multiple levels, so it can seem a bit redundant. So, what of a story? Well, the game itself has some tutorial instructions, but no stories found when beginning the game. What's interesting though, is diving into the instruction booklet. I mean, look at this thing. It's beautiful. I wish I had scanned it instead of just taking some pictures. The index doesn't appear until page 20. On top of that, even a page that has nothing to do with the story itself still deals with, basically, character introduction and helps you get to know Bubsy the character even more. Across the velvet reaches of space lie unknown terrors, strange worlds, and even stranger alien races. There are beings that stretch the very fabric of reality. Beings like the Woolies, whose unbridled lust for yarn is legendary across the galaxies. And no Woolie is more greedy for the furry fiber than the twin queens of Rayon, Polly and Esther. Well, Professor Nylon, have you found a new planet to plunder of wonderful wool? Yes, Your Embroidered Highness. Have a bo peep through my fiber-optic yarnoscope. Eureka! It's the mother of all wools. What a weird-looking creature. I'll say, he's not wearing any pants. There's just no privacy for us big stars. The wildly wicked Woolies could not resist this chance to steal wool. We'll pull the wool over that bobcat's eyes and yank his yarn. They knit their plans carefully. We'll knit one here, then purl two there. And soon the very fabric of space was being warped by their dreaded saucers of silk. What's our yarn consumption, Ensign? About 2 light years to the yard, sir. But the Woolies had chosen to invade the space of one perfectly ferocious feline. I'm bad. Whoa, I'm bad. A bobcat, ready, willing, and able to defend the rights of the downtrodden. Go ahead, make my day. Smite the evildoers. Some I smite, some I bite. It's a mood thing, really. And to generally act in a heroic and politically correct manner. I regret that I have but 9 lives to give to my planet. Well, it could happen. And so the nefariously nasty, no-account Woolies proceeded to clean Bubsy's clock. I'll vacuum, I'll dust. The Woolies swiftly made a sucker out of Bubsy. Who said cat hair was hard to vacuum up? Of course it helps if it's still attached to the cat. And in mind-numbing succession, he was first rejected. How humiliating. And then ejected. I'd like to remind the producer of this game that I am an endangered, repeat, endangered species. The Woolly's unprovoked attack opened Bubsy's eyes. "I see you have a lovely home here, Mrs. Gopher," and focused his razor-sharp mind on one critical thought. "I bet this means I'll miss lunch. I knew I should have increased my insurance." And so begins the spellbinding, fast-paced, nail-biting, action-packed blockbuster event, Claws Encounters of the Third Kind. I'll be back. Unfortunately for Bubsy and Claws Encounter of the Third Kind, the gameplay is oversimplified to a frustratingly difficult degree. The mascot with Attitude Era was in full swing, I get it, but this game was trying a little too hard to be like Sonic the Hedgehog. I mentioned the similarity in level design, but Bubsy also moves at about the same clip as Sonic. Unfortunately for Bubsy, he can't defend himself by rolling into a ball at the first sign of danger. Bubsy moves too fast, and the minute there's a single pixel of collision between you and an enemy, it's all over. Bubsy is beautiful, and there's fun to be had, but players should probably have patience first. And if you're looking for story, it's strictly in the instruction booklet. Don't go expecting any kind of close encounter with our story so far. Hey everybody, thanks for watching episode number 92 of Our Story So Far TV. I'm Garrett, aka New Angel, and that was Bubsy? Never played this game. Missed it in my childhood entirely. Kind of glad I did, honestly, after taking a look at that, but hey, that's just me. Maybe you have different memories. Maybe the second version is totally different. Let me know if I'm missing out on something and should check out that version. You can do that by leaving a comment below. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you disliked it, then give it a thumbs down, but at least leave a comment telling me why. If you like the episode, like the idea, there's almost 100 episodes here on the channel, and you can always find more over at ourstorysofar.tv. If you have a comment that you don't feel belongs on YouTube, or you want to strike up a conversation with me, I'm on Twitter at NewAngel, that's Nuangel. New episodes go up every single Friday. Until next time, take care of yourself.